economist and former rector of GIMPA, Professor Stephen Adei, says his worry over the country's current economic challenge is not the quest to get an IMF bailout, but what becomes of our economy after the bailout. Government has over the last few weeks been struggling to meet IMF conditionalities to be able to get a loan from the fund, with intense resistance from domestic creditors who say they want to be exempted, like you've been hearing. Professor Adei, in a yet-to-be-aired interview on PM Personality Profile, says he fears we will not learn any lessons from our current situation.
The IMF is only for stabilization. And let me tell you, we are going to go through a hard time for 3 years.
Yeah.
And if we don't behave, and we go and borrow, over-borrow,
we'll be back to square one.
Back to square one. If we don't stop our corruption, we'll be back to square one. If we don't have good development direction, we'll be back to square one.
Interesting.
So what we need, for me, the pain is that will we learn?
Yeah. Do you foresee that?
Yes. That is, I can't predict. The past is not a good guide. In other countries, by now, about 10 people, and the people are in Ghana, their job is just thinking about the economy. How, when you try this, it doesn't work, then immediately there is no national brain think tank.
Yep.
We have now in Ghana, it is NDC brains to criticize and NDC brain to MPP brain to try to manage it and things. But this is what pains me.
Yeah.
That even your brain is not respected unless you are wearing red and blue. Is that the MPP?
Yes, and white, or green, white, and red and black, correct?
Yes. And this is the time Ghanaian brains must be mobilized.
Yeah.
Because after this transition, the actual development of our nation still remains. And we cannot, some of us, actually, you ask me, the pain is that are we going to die to leave a Ghana which is not developed for our children and grandchildren to also go through this vicious cycle?
Well, the finance minister is expected to brief Parliament this week or the next week to be able to give Parliament updates on the domestic debt exchange program following his summoning. But we've been told in Parliament today that that date, that's February 14 date, has been rescheduled to the Thursday. Now on to some other stories. And 4 persons, 3 public servants and 1 civil servant, have been arrested and charged by the OSP for failing to comply and declare sources of income in contravention of Regulation 20 of LI 2374. The 4, Issa Seidu, James Kekose, John Aban, and Peter Archibald Hyde, are due to appear before the High Court, that's a criminal division, sitting in Accra on Monday, 13 February 2023. Presidential Affairs correspondent Elton Brobe joins me via Zoom with details of the charge sheet. Elton, from what we've gathered so far from the document, what can you tell us?
So if it looks like the cases are related, if you look at the charge sheet that the OSP, that's the Office of a Special Prosecutor, is presenting to the court, the 4 gentlemen virtually did the same job. And if you look at their backgrounds, for example, Seidu works with the National Insurance Commission. James works with the Office of the Vice President. John and Peter are custom officers. Now, the charge sheet and the issues against them are almost the same. According to the Special Prosecutor, the first, second, and third and fourth accused are public servants. And then there's another person which is a civil servant. So the first, third, and fourth accused are public servants, while the second accused is a civil servant. According to the charge sheet as provided by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the accused are all suspects under investigation in respect of corruption and corruption-related offences regarding the importation from Thailand and auction processes of 250 metric tons of lily rice. Now, the evidence, according to the Office of the Special Prosecutor, will establish that in December 2022, the Special Prosecutor, in the performance of his function, served on the accused, respectively, notice to declare their property and income under Regulation 2.1 of the law establishing the Office of Special Prosecutor. Now, according to the sheet, the accused were duly notified as per the statutory forms and by cover letters under the seal of the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the seal and mark of the Special Prosecutor that they were required by law to make their specified declaration and return same to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Now, as at the close of business of 9 February 2023, the accused had failed without lawful excuse to return the duly completed statutory form to the Office of the Special Prosecutor more than 30 days after the service of the forms from them. The accused persons have duly been charged with respective offences on the charge sheet. And by what we have, the Office of the Special Prosecutor is alluding to the fact that per records available to them, the remuneration that these public servants, enjoy at the end of every month by virtue of their work to the state does not commensurate with the amount of money found in their bank accounts. Furthermore, it says that the importation of the rice, 250 tons of lily rice from Thailand, there's no documentary proof linking their salary to the importation. That triggered the investigation. And the Office of the Special Prosecutor served a notice to clarify the difference in terms of the money available to them, their monthly salary, and what was found in their bank account. And the 30 days elapsed without them providing any evidence to back the excess amount of money in their bank account. That is how the Special Prosecutor arrested them. They've been charged, and on Monday, they will appear before court to answer the charges labeled against them.
Okay, well, this is an issue that we'll definitely be following up on, and we'll bring details. But there's more on this on myjoyonline.com. I'm sure you've been following in the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Elton. There was an issue about the payment of the Special Prosecutor, amongst others, that came up previously. Do you have an update on that as well, since we are talking about the Special Prosecutor? Well,
the issue about salary, as we reported late last year and then early this year, when it came to light that the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the Special Prosecutor himself has worked over 16 months and has not been paid his monthly salary. Now, we also got to know, per correspondence we received, that the Office of the Special Prosecutor was asking for some enhanced salary because of the kind of work they do. And that, according to sources at the Ministry of Finance, was the reason why there was delay in the payment of the salary, because with the request that was made by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the Fair Wage Salaries Commission was then brought in to look at the case brought forth by the Special Prosecutor and then determine how this can be done.
Okay.
But as far as the Special Prosecutor salary is concerned, the salaries, the Fair Wage Salaries Commission is of the view, and this is backed by law, that the engagement and the monthly salary must be the same as an appeals court judge. So an enhancement cannot happen unless it is backed by law. But we are told that there's been some kind of arrangement between the office and the Ministry of Finance to compensate them on a monthly basis while the matters raised by the Office of the Special Prosecutor are being dealt with.
Okay, thank you so much. That's Presidential Affairs Correspondent Elton will be bringing us up to speed on that particular case. But there's more on myjoyonline.com, like I said.